Welcome to today's podcast. This is your Rubies of Grace host, Rose Nyama. Rubies of Grace podcast promote the principles of love, respect, mutual agreement, unity, integrity, and trust within our diverse relationships. We're God's jewel, beautifully crafted to radiate His image and light in this world. It is such a pleasure to be sharing this podcast on relationships matter with you. And I do hope that you can come with me on this journey for us to better our relationships because relationships matter. A lot has been covered over the past weeks or months on nuggets, truths, and practical resources that you can apply to better your relationships. Practice the same makes perfect. Building and maintaining a healthy relationship requires effort and both partners, friends, or spouses being intentional. Key elements including open communication, mutual respect, truth have been shared in our Relationship Core Concept podcast. And I will encourage you to go back and listen to any of the core concepts that you desire to work on. Afterwards, you can go back to the case studies and have a go at the strategies that have been carefully suggested. Remember, if your relationship bridge has been broken, it can certainly be repaired. I encourage you to listen again to the podcast on relationship bridges. If you're hurting, please do well to listen to the podcast on letting go of pain to build a better relationship. It is also crucial to address conflict constructively, practice forgiveness, prioritize quality time together. And we've looked at this in most of the podcasts. But more so, we looked at it on the podcast titled Protecting Your Peace, Guiding Your Heart, and I Choose to Love. These three podcasts covers this crucial aspect. You can listen to this podcast over and over as you please to absorb or assimilate the truth and the strategies that have been shared in this podcast. Today's podcast, we want to look closely at shared activities and how it creates the space for intimacy. And we've titled today's podcast, Work It Out. Work It Out. As already mentioned in the podcast on elevating your relationships, increasing positive shared experiences or shared activities is vital in elevating your relationship, and it can contribute towards the growth of that relationship or growth within that relationship. When shared activities fade away, relationships can quietly start to drift apart. This is not because of a big argument, but because unknown to friends, partners, or spouses, the glue slowly dissolves and vital components slowly disintegrate, creating a rather porous and unsteady relationship. Here's what often happens. Emotional distance grows. Without regular shared moments, conversations can shrink to logistics. What's for dinner? Did you pay the bill? Did you take out the bin? Did you do this? Did you do that? Instead of a meaningful connection. Over time, the relationship can feel like coexisting rather than living together. Parallel lives begin to develop. Each person fills their time separately. Different hobbies, different friend circles, different daily routines. This isn't automatically bad, but if there's no overlap, the sense of we weakens over time. So instead of us, it becomes you, me. Parallel lives. They are good, but they should complement each other. Don't allow it to keep going. It creates that distance. Before you know it, you're far apart, even though you're close together in the same house, probably. There could be a loss of shared language. You lose those inside jokes because they fade. Mutual references and memories aren't replenished. It becomes like history. So the couple or friends stop having touchstones that bond them in conversations. There can be lower resilience during conflict. When a relationship lacks recent positive shared experiences, disagreements feel sharper because there's less goodwill in the bank. No more deposits in the bank. Couples who regularly do things together tend to recover from fights faster, increasing vulnerability to outside distractions. This happens when relationships are not actively nurtured. It becomes easier for work, stress, or even other people to take up emotional space that used to belong to each other. Shared activities are not just fun extras. They are maintenance for the relationship emotional engine. Without them, even the most loving bond can lose warmth. With them, even hard seasons feel more manageable because you're still connected in small but joyful ways. Shared activities are one of the quiet powerhouses for any healthy, lasting relationship, whether it's romantic, familial, or even friendships. They do more than simply pass the time. They create connection, they deepen trust, and they help relationships feel alive. They build emotional intimacy among the people involved in that relationship, doing things together, whether it's cooking a meal, hiking, or playing a game. This creates opportunities for natural conversations, shared jokes, and emotional bonding. Shared experiences often become our stories, the little narratives couples or friends refer back to, strengthening the feelings of us versus me and you. They create a sense of teamwork, working toward a shared goal. It could be gardening, it could be redecorating, it could be learning a skill. It fosters cooperation and mutual support. This teamwork feeling builds a quiet confidence in the relationship, knowing that you can tackle things together. It helps to maintain novelty and excitement. Relationships can drift easily into routine, but trying new activities together provides fresh stimulation and helps to avoid emotional stagnation. Novelty triggers dopamine in the brain, and this can reignite spark in a long-term bond. It can reinforce shared identity. Over time, couples or friends form a shared culture. They have their inside jokes, their rituals, their favorite places. These come from repeatedly doing things together. Without shared activities, people risk growing in parallel rather than together. Shared activities can provide emotional resilience. Think about the hard times. Relationships often lean on the foundation of a good shared memory and experiences. These moments act like emotional glue, making it easier to weather conflict or stress. And there are some practical ways to foster shared activities. You can alternate between familiar favorites, comfort rituals, and new adventures. You can choose to be intentional and put shared time on the calendar, and don't just hope that it happens. Make an effort. Choose activities that match both energy levels for both of you, as well as your interest. It shouldn't be one-sided. Stay curious about each other. Ask what's something new you could try together. These are some ways that can help you to keep alive these shared activities. And if you don't have any shared activities, I can suggest some to you. There are some high impact shared activities that don't have to cost you the bank. It just requires time and commitment. And even the time, it might just be little time, but commitment. Examples of shared activities that can be high impact include mini ritual meals. Share a specific breakfast, evening, meal, dinner, or it could be Sunday brunch together. Even 15 minutes counts. It's the regularity that makes it special. It shouldn't be just a one-off. Make it a ritual. Do it as often as you can together. Walk and talks. A short daily or weekly walk outdoors. In the mall, in public spaces, or even outdoors. Even if it's raining, it's that commitment to do it together. The rhythm of walking side by side often makes conversation flow naturally. Learning something new together. Novelty. It could be a language, using a language app or going for classes. It could be dance classes. It could be cooking a new recipe or trying a new craft or hobby. Shared learning sparks laughter and keeps the relationship feeling fresh. You can create your project days. You work together on something tangible. Decorating a room, planting a garden, building a furniture. Seeing progress as a team creates deep bonding. You can have story or media nights. Watch a show together. Read a book together. Read a book aloud or listen to a podcast series together. It gives you shared narrative to discuss afterwards. Micro adventures might be fascinating for some people. Visiting a new cafe, exploring a nearby town, trying a scenic route home from work. Novelty doesn't have to mean big vacations. It's about breaking routine, trying something new. Volunteering together. Join a charity event perhaps. Cleaning up a park or helping at a local shelter. But when done together, because you're helping others side by side, it strengthens your bond in a purpose-driven way. You can create memory refreshers. You can look through old photos together, recreate a date from the past, revisit a special place. This builds a sense of continuity and reminds you of how your connection has grown. There's so much more you can do together. But it starts with considering that it's vital to do that. It's vital to have shared memories. It's vital to have shared activities. And when you see it as vital and you value that, the moment, the time you spend together, it will help you to be intentional. Put a date on the calendar and follow through. Start with small steps. Start with things you enjoy. Both of you having the same energy levels to accommodate that activity. And do it more frequently if you could. Have little routines or rituals that work for you. That helps to deepen the bond. That helps to bring about more commitment. It deepens intimacy. It improves emotional safety. You're vulnerable with each other without feeling guilty, without feeling scared. There's no fear. It deepens love and connectivity. There's so much you can do together. There's so much you can do together. You can work it out. Yes, you can work it out. You can start from today. Perhaps you like one activity and your friend, your partner, your spouse prefers a different activity. Why not alternate these activities so that you both get to enjoy each other's company, doing what you or the other person may like, then afterwards do yours as well. Alternate these activities or new adventures. Remember, moments like this act like emotional glue, making it easier for both of you to weather conflict or stress, especially in hard times. It helps you to provide emotional resilience. Shared activities are very vital to reinforce shared identity. You don't want to be drifting apart. You don't want to be growing parallel to each other, but you want to grow together. What shared activities can you implement in your relationship? Can you work together as a team to do something together, something meaningful together? Remember, shared activities are vital to build emotional intimacy. Don't just consider shared activities as passing time. No, but use them as an opportunity to create connection, to deepen trust, and to help your relationship to feel alive. There's so much you can do together. I do hope that today's podcast will ignite a desire to nurture your relationships and to consider areas where you need to make a change, adapt, or add more juice, which means to add power, vigor, energy, or interest, excitement to your relationships. Tune in for more. Until next time, do your best because relationships matter.